Last week concluded with rapper Kid Cudi, who testified about his brief relationship with Cassie Ventura. Kid Cudi said he was concerned for her safety as well as his own. He described the time when he says a jealous Combs broke into his home, locked his dog in a bathroom, and opened its Christmas gifts. The jury also saw photos of Kid Cudi's charred Porsche. Cudi testified he knew Combs had something to do with that damage. Joining me now, defense and trial attorney Misty Maris and former U.S. prosecutor Sarah Krisoff. Sarah and Misty, thank you so much for being here on Memorial Day, no doubt, when you could be doing a lot of other things. I'm going to start with you, Sarah. When we saw this testimony from Kid Cudi, how impactful and important was it for the words that came out of his mouth in the stand, but also they've had the whole weekend to sit with it?
Yeah, so the prosecution is trying to build the racketeering case, particularly through Kid Cudi and hopefully from their viewpoint with witnesses to come. So I think that's been the area where there's been the least amount of testimony so far, but they're going to build that block by block and trying to, convince the jury there was some sort of enterprise and all of these people that were around Combs trying to cover up the crimes that were committed in furtherance of that enterprise.
Misty, as far as how the defense is handling some of this explosive testimony from Kid Cudi, who was very strong on the stand, according to our reporters who are in there watching this every single day, how is the defense handling itself so far?
Well, first of all, explosive is the perfect word because the main point of that testimony from the prosecution's perspective was the Molotov cocktail that Kid Cudi says it was Combs and his affiliates, his associates, who blew up his car. And that is part of the predicate crimes prosecutors are seeking to establish of arson, which goes towards racketeering. But Sarah, I was actually in the courtroom for Kid Cudi's testimony, so I saw it. He was a great witness, but the defense was able to chip away at his testimony on cross and establish that he had no direct information. He didn't see anybody. There were no cameras. There was never an arrest. Basically throwing a little bit of doubt as to whether or not he could really say it was Combs or someone associated with Combs who actually did that damage to his car. So the defense did a good job. He also said that Cassie played him. This was his testimony, and that she was living a double life by dating both himself and Combs. Now, that speaks to her autonomy in the situation, that element of control. So the defense did an excellent job on cross-examination of getting that out in front of the jury.
Yeah.